Hey everyone, Richard Chronic here from CompletedThoughts.com. Let's take a look at the power of your mind. First, let's compare your mind to the most powerful man-made invention, the computer. The average computer can hold thousands of pictures and hundreds of videos and perform multiple operations at the same time, as well as performing lightning-fast computations and store enormous amounts of data. Amazing, right? But let's take a look at your mind for a moment. Recently, in Japan, scientists created a computer which was able to mimic 1% of 1 second's worth of human brain activity. To mimic this relatively minuscule amount of brain power, they needed 83,000 processors from one of the world's most powerful supercomputers. These processors required about 40 minutes and a petabyte of memory, which is the equivalent of about 250,000 standard PCs, just to mimic 1% of 1 second of what your brain can do. Amazing! The brain can perform an estimated 10 quadrillion operations per second without you even knowing it. Think about it for a moment. What is making your heart beat? Are you consciously making it beat? Can you make it stop at will? No. What is making sure you never stop breathing? Not even for a moment. What is maintaining your body temperature and constantly on patrol for bacteria and viruses and other dangers and able to continuously protect and cleanse and purify the trillions of cells within your body? When you are sleeping, what is it that is directing the maintenance and repair of your cells and pumping blood through the 100,000 miles worth of blood vessels in your body? What is it that is ensuring that all 6 trillion of your cells are able to function in a harmonious and inconceivably complex way? It is something we call the subconscious mind. This is the real powerhouse behind who you are. Your subconscious mind is able to intelligently direct and guide and take care of you better than your conscious mind, ever could. Animals have it. Plants have it. Plants are able to intelligently know which nutrients to absorb and which way to face to gather the most sunlight. But there's something very bizarre about your subconscious mind, and that is this. It has trouble distinguishing between a real event and something that simply happens in your mind. Sounds absolutely absurd, right? But think about what happens when you have a nightmare. During the nightmare, you are absolutely convinced that it is really happening. And not only that, but when you wake up in the middle of the night, you are sweating, breathing heavily, and your heart is racing. You physiologically reacted as if the nightmare were completely real. And that is because, to your mind, it was. There was an amazing study in which researchers studied 4 groups of Olympic athletes. The first group spent 100% of their time in physical training. The second group spent 75% of their time in physical training and 25% in mental training. The third group spent 50-50 equal time in both physical and mental training, while the last group spent only 25% of their time in physical training and 75% of their time in mental training. This mental training involved visualizing, running their event perfectly in their mind. And what the researchers found is staggering. They discovered that of the 4 groups, the fourth group, the group that spent most of its time in mental training, performed the best in the Olympics. Researchers from the study discovered that we stimulate the same regions of the brain when we visualize an action as we do when we actually perform that action. There was another study involving an Olympic skier where the researchers instructed the skier to run the event only in his mind. The skier was hooked up to sophisticated equipment which monitored his muscle fibers. Incredibly, the same muscle fibers fired off in the same way as if he was actually running the event, just from his thoughts. What we see in our mind is our reality and shapes our reality. Think about hypnosis. There was an incredible demonstration of the power of hypnosis when a man was given a trigger word while under hypnosis that would make him feel as if his wedding ring was hot and burning. Upon coming out of hypnosis and hearing this trigger word, he immediately felt that his ring was, in fact, incredibly hot and burning his skin. But when he struggled for a few minutes to remove it, even the hypnotist was astonished when they discovered third-degree burns where the ring had been. Psychologists have uncovered amazing instances of the power of the mind over physical reality. There was an individual with multiple personality disorder who had blue eyes in one personality, and when changing into the other personality, her eyes actually physically changed color to brown. Another such person was severely allergic to citrus in one personality, breaking out in hives all over. Yet, in the other personality, he could eat multiple oranges without any symptoms. Yet another woman was diabetic in one personality, requiring her to take doses of insulin that would be lethal to her in her other personality. Wild, isn't it? Your beliefs and expectations of reality significantly influence not only what you experience, but what happens in your physical reality. Quantum physics has shown us that this is in fact how our universe works. Physicists have demonstrated that it is the beliefs and expectations of your mind which actually influence and create the physical matrix of reality that you perceive. In fact, they have a name for the underlying invisible reality. They call it the field of infinite potentiality. Now think about that for a moment. Infinite potentiality. And thoughts play a very important role. Thoughts have been physically measured. They are very, very real. A positive thought has a higher frequency than a negative thought. It is your thoughts and beliefs that shape your reality. But there is something that is crucially important to understand, and that is that the vast majority of time, you are not choosing your thoughts. Your subconscious mind is. You are on autopilot. How many times have you been driving and suddenly realized you weren't even paying attention for the last 10 minutes? What was it that was operating this 2-ton vehicle while you were busy floating around in your daydreams? It was your subconscious mind. When you see someone you love, what happens? You feel good. When you smell rotten waste, you react in disgust. When you hear a loud noise, you instantly turn to look. Our subconscious mind reacts to the outside world based off of the intelligence it has gathered over the years. Your subconscious mind does its best to choose thoughts based off of your experience and what you see around you. This is why it is incredibly important to be aware of what you are exposing your mind to. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? And who are you spending your time with? If you are constantly bombarding yourself with negative images from the news of murder and crime and violence and expose your mind to gossip and hatred and anger, then that is what your subconscious mind will absorb and reflect back as your reality. Of course, we cannot monitor every single thought or experience, but, and this is crucial to understand, we have the ability to decide how we wish to react in any given situation. Some people go bungee jumping and their body releases endorphins, the chemical which makes them feel good and excited, while other people do the same thing, go bungee jumping and their body releases a different chemical, cortisol, which makes them feel stressed and scared. One person may smell cigarette smoke and feel relaxed, while the other person may feel disgusted. Now, how can this be? It is because it is not circumstance or environment which decides how you feel. It is you that decide how you feel about any given situation. The feeling does not come from outside you. You create the feeling. And if you don't consciously decide what to feel, your subconscious mind will decide for you. But herein lies the most empowering fact, and that is that you have the power to step in front of your subconscious mind, to place your consciousness between your environment and your subconscious mind and decide at any given moment how you wish to react, how you wish to feel. You can serve as the watchman at the gate of your mind. There is no situation in existence that can make you feel stressed or afraid or worried. None. It is only your physiological and mental reaction that creates those feelings. They are created within you, and if you created it, you can take it away. So where do we go from here? How do we use this knowledge? The first thing you can do is to begin to simply pay more attention to your thoughts. Take a few minutes here and there to just sit and think. That alone is huge. You can observe how you react to different situations and ask yourself if this is how you really want to react. Begin to consciously choose what you will think about and what you will feel. At first, yes, this may be hard, and you don't have to do this all of the time, but the more you do it, the more it will become a habit, and you will begin to do it naturally and with ease. The other way to bring about significant change in your life is to create and hold a vision in your mind of how you want your life to be. Be the architect of your imagination and build up your ideal in your mind. Do you want to be more confident? Then take the time to imagine and visualize yourself as confident. Get yourself to feel confident. Affirm to yourself that your new truth within you shall be one of absolute and unwavering confidence. And if you persistently hold this image, this new truth in your mind, doggedly determined to maintain it despite any conflicting evidence around you, then you will be moved into this new reality. Quantum physics shows us this. When you continuously hold an idea in your mind, you instruct your subconscious mind to bring it about as your reality. You have the ability to create yourself however you want. Decide what you want, write it down, and build up the vision in your mind and hold it there, declaring it as your new reality. In this way, the real powerhouse of who you are, your subconscious mind, will learn this as your new reality. And very soon, it will be. Bottom line, your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations create your life. And when you realize this and set about actually using this knowledge, it is the most liberating feeling you can imagine. Most of the time, we are merely reacting, being tossed about by the winds of life. But when we decide to lift ourselves up and become the creators, the artist, and the masterpiece of our lives, we rise above the storms of life, knowing they cannot reach us without our permission. And in this way, we can truly taste freedom and ease. You are the creator of your life. You have massive power within you. Choose your thoughts wisely.